Welcome to Royal Secrets. From royal dreams to international drama, the story of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle was once painted as a fairy tale rebellion. But in the shadows of palaces and politics, something darker was brewing, something powerful enough to shake the foundations of the British establishment itself. And now, in a move few expected and even fewer understand, the United Kingdom's Court of Justice has taken a historic and unprecedented step, issuing a full directive that grants MI6, the country's most elite intelligence agency, broad authority to investigate the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. It began with love, glamour, and a promise of modernity. The marriage of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle in 2018 was hailed as a turning point for the monarchy. A mixed-race American actress marrying into one of the world's most traditional institutions seemed like the dawn of a new era. They were bold, charismatic, and for a brief moment, beloved by both the media and the masses. But the honeymoon didn't last. Behind palace doors, tensions began to mount. Conflicts with royal staff, whispers of ego, demands, and protocol breaches. And then, what many now see as the spark that ignited a royal war: the shocking 2020 Megxit announcement. The Duke and Duchess were stepping back, leaving royal duties, seeking financial independence, and perhaps most provocatively, moving to North America. What followed was a media blitz of epic proportions: interviews, documentaries, memoirs, claims of racism, allegations of institutional cruelty, and an ever-deepening divide between Harry, Meghan, and the British crown. But as public sympathy shifted and controversies mounted, a much quieter drama was unfolding in the background, one that would soon drag the couple into a web of legal scrutiny and intelligence oversight. For many in Britain's political and security apparatus, Harry and Meghan's post-royal life wasn't just dramatic, it was dangerous. What sensitive information did Harry have access to while serving in the military and as a senior royal? Could details about British intelligence, military protocols, or private royal affairs be at risk of exposure? Was Meghan's extensive network in Hollywood and Silicon Valley potentially being used to broker access, influence, or leaks? These questions gained traction, not in the press, but behind closed doors in Parliament, in intelligence briefings, and within the highest legal bodies of the UK. It wasn't about gossip anymore. It was about national security. And then came the trigger point: a string of public appearances, media deals, and private communications that some insiders believed may have crossed a dangerous line. While exact details remain sealed under national security protocols, leaked intelligence memos quietly circulated among select officials, allegedly cited unauthorized disclosures and ongoing risk to operational security. Sources claim the memos pointed to several key incidents. Conversations involving foreign diplomats where classified royal procedures may have been discussed. Documents exchanged with foreign media outlets hinting at private security arrangements, royal travel routines, and even encrypted communications used by the crown. Concerns that private meetings with high-level Hollywood executives included detailed insights into royal vulnerabilities, potentially paving the way for scripted portrayals, unauthorized documentaries, or worse, manipulation by foreign interests. If any of it proved true, it could constitute a breach of the Official Secrets Act. That's when a formal petition was filed urging the UK Court of Justice to authorize a security review. On a cold morning in London, under tight security and away from media eyes, the Court of Justice convened a closed hearing. Present were senior legal officials, counterintelligence consultants, and MI6 representatives. By the end of that session, the decision was clear. MI6 was to be granted full investigative authority to determine if Harry and Meghan had knowingly or unknowingly compromised national security or state integrity. Access to the couple's communications and travel logs from their time as working royals. A review of financial transactions involving foreign entities post-Megxit. Discreet monitoring of ongoing media projects, particularly those touching on royal or security themes. A risk assessment on whether Harry's memoir, Spare, and related interviews violated national security statutes. For MI6, this wasn't about punishing a prince. It was about assessing risk. And for the British legal system, it marked a bold step, prioritizing state interest over royal privacy for perhaps the first time in modern history. When the Court of Justice issued its sweeping directive to MI6, the intelligence community shifted gears. This was no longer a matter of PR damage or tabloid speculation. It became a classified, full-scale investigation, a national security operation with royal implications. Sources close to Whitehall described the mood as tense but focused. MI6, officially known as the Secret Intelligence Service, was deployed not to sensationalize, but to safeguard. Their mission? To determine whether Prince Harry and Meghan Markle had inadvertently or intentionally shared classified details that could place royal protocol, British interests, or even operatives abroad at risk. This isn't about personal vendettas. One source within the Home Office was quoted as saying, "It's about breaches, potentially catastrophic ones." But how does a nation investigate two of its most famous former royals, now living thousands of miles away, without triggering a diplomatic firestorm? MI6 is not the sort of agency that kicks indoors or plants obvious wiretaps. Its methods are surgical, designed to operate without being seen, heard, or suspected. Has Harry, possibly under stress or emotional manipulation, revealed more than he realizes? Has Meghan, either in pursuit of financial independence or media domination, crossed lines without knowing the legal limits? While the full findings are under wraps, several leaks have begun to paint a disturbing picture. According to insiders familiar with the case, MI6 has flagged 3 major red zones. Harry's best-selling memoir Spare was already controversial, filled with deeply personal revelations. But what MI6 reportedly found was even more alarming. Passages that described exact operational tactics from his military service, including locations, unit movements, and strategies used in Afghanistan. While these might seem like historical anecdotes to the public, military analysts argue they could expose current tactics or endanger Allied operatives still in the field. A confidential Ministry of Defense memo allegedly warned, the degree of operational detail disclosed in Spare could aid hostile forces in understanding UK engagement protocols. MI6 has expressed concern over Meghan's deepening ties with high-level media executives and tech investors. Internal memos suggest that documents shared during production pitches for Netflix, Spotify, and other platforms may have included sensitive references to private royal protocols, security arrangements, and even private correspondence with palace officials. If true, these could fall under violations of both the Royal Household Non-Disclosure Act and UK national secrecy guidelines. Perhaps most troubling are the flagged interactions between Harry and a pair of foreign philanthropic investors with links to sovereign wealth funds from nations with adversarial or surveillance-heavy reputations. MI6 is investigating whether confidential or symbolic royal privileges such as access to historical documents, strategic event briefings, or VIP channels were ever offered, sold, or leveraged during these interactions. While the British public continues to speculate, Buckingham Palace has remained largely silent. But behind the scenes, that silence is strategic. Royal insiders say King Charles has been briefed on the situation, though the palace remains cautious not to be seen as politically manipulating an intelligence investigation. This is a crown matter, not a family feud. The king is deeply concerned, but also trusts the intelligence agencies to do their duty without royal interference. He is watching carefully. Some believe Queen Camilla has urged a firmer public stance, especially given the couple's continued jabs in interviews and media content. However, Charles reportedly prefers discretion, believing that fueling the fire would only deepen public division. Prince William, however, is said to be furious. After years of strained relations with his brother, this investigation may be the tipping point. Sources suggest William has fully supported the legal inquiry and views it as necessary to protect the future of the monarchy. As for Princess Catherine, she has remained characteristically poised in public, but the strain, friends say, is unmistakable. In Montecito, California, the air is quieter but tension simmers beneath the surface. Neither Harry nor Meghan has publicly addressed the MI6 investigation, likely upon legal advice. But their team has reportedly launched a private legal review, and US-based attorneys have begun preparing for what one insider called a worst-case scenario. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and turn the notification bell for more upload.